Calgary residents are starting their morning on day 4 of water restrictions, and officials say there's still no timeline for when the boil water advisories or the water restrictions are going to be lifted. This is what happened. A main pipe burst in the neighborhood of Bowness last week. It flooded streets. It forced road closures. This is kind of what it looked like. Residents are still being asked to avoid all non-essential water usage. Trucks are trying to distribute clean water. City officials say that water usage has been reduced. The mayor was congratulating everybody on that. But the supply could still run out if people abandon their conservation steps. So joining us this morning from Calgary to share about his experience is Logan Renault with the Bowness Community Association. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So
we were just looking at pictures. Crews had been working on that section of pipe. They've reached it. They're working on it. They're trying to clear access to the damage of the leak. Then they still have to repair it. That, we're hearing, could take up to a week. What, first of all, have the last few days looked like for you? You're just coming off a weekend.
Yeah, so there's, I guess, two realities being experienced right now in Calgary. Most folks in the city and even in surrounding communities are being asked to, as you mentioned, restrict their water usage as much as possible. So they're still getting clean water to their homes. However, because of that water main break that you're seeing on the screen here, there's just not enough infrastructure to move water from the treatment plants to the city. So that's why everyone is being called to reduce that intake. However, the neighborhood of Bowness, over 10,000 people live here, and we still are not receiving any clean water to our taps. And as far as we understand, there won't be clean water until after that pipe is repaired, which, as you said, could be another week from today.
Can you walk me through, Logan, like what your day-to-day looks like? So you don't have clean water coming out of your tap. What does that mean for like making coffee or trying to cook or do any of the things that you would do without thinking usually?
Yeah, so in Bowness, there's kind of varying degrees, just address by address of what people are getting to their houses. Some people are still not getting any water, or the water pressure is intermittent. Some people are getting, normal looking water that they're able to boil and use. But some people's water is still, brown and muddy and full of sediment. And so even after boiling it, that's probably not something you're going to want to make baby formula with or even drink your own coffee with.
Yeah, no kidding. And I mean, day 4 with a look ahead of at least a week. I can tell by your shirt that you love Bowness. That's what it says. What is your team doing to help there?
Yeah, so when this news broke, first thing in the morning on Thursday, City of Calgary was great in supplying water wagons, as we call them, around the community. So it's basically a big trailer filled with water. There's a pump handle on the side. And folks from the community can come down with their own jugs and containers and access clean drinking water. However, one of the first thoughts that we had was there's a heck of a lot of people who, for one reason or another, aren't going to be able to access those water wagons. So folks who are seniors, folks with disabilities, people without vehicles who can't, drive 6 blocks and fill up 15-liter jugs and carry them back. That's a pretty tall hurdle for a lot of people. One thing that was never in doubt, though, was that people were going to want to help. So in Bowness, we have an amazing community. We have amazing volunteers. We have a great community association, which I represent. And so we've been set up, 24 hours, not staffed at full time, but most of the time, taking donations of bottled water and helping distribute, deliver even bottled water to people in the community who can't access it in bulk.
Logan, it all sounds amazing, and I'm so grateful for the people of Calgary, in particular your association, who are helping out those who are more vulnerable. This area of Calgary had also some really bad flooding about 10 years ago, in 2013. What's the infrastructure like in your neighborhood?
Yeah, so I mean, this larger question of the water main break that actually sits just outside the neighborhood of Bowness and connects us to a neighboring community. But a lot of the other infrastructure is old. The community of Bowness was actually its own town up until the 1960s and was amalgamated into the city of Calgary then. And so a lot of the infrastructure, there's not records of it in the same way as places that were always in the city of Calgary, things like that. And so there is concern that, the longer we go with this pipe being repaired, that it could cause broader issues as more strain is put on the water system here.
Your mayor both praised people for doing a great job of conservation and encouraging them to continue, but there was also some criticism that she faced about communication. How's it been so far?
Yeah, I mean, from day one, Ward 1 Councillor Sonia Sharp has been, in person at the BCA, delivering water, helping relay messaging to the city. It's been an emerging situation, and I'm really happy to say now that we do have clear lines of communication set up with the city, on our end at least, regarding the situation in Bowness, and we'll be working together with them to figure out ways in the coming days to communicate information about where things are at, and especially steps that folks will need to take once the advisory is lifted.
Yeah.
Once that's over, there's still things people need to do in their houses, like flushing their taps, refilling their hot water tank, and that's some steps and details that we need to communicate to a lot of folks, and a lot of folks who might not speak English, might not be watching the news or looking at our Facebook page, and so that's still something that's concerning us.
Hey, Logan, I'm glad that you and your group are there to help out during this really challenging time. Our best to you and everybody there as you sort of work through the issues around this advisory until it lifts. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Support your local community association, and go Flames, go.
All right, thanks, Logan. All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.